Hey guys, tonight we step onto a planet where night and day never change. Imagine your boots crunching softly against dust that glows in permanent twilight, as though the ground itself has given up trying to decide between morning or midnight. Above you, the sky is a motionless dome of stars, their light eternal, never softening, never dimming. It feels a little unreal, almost staged, like someone pressed pause on the universe and forgot to hit play again. Of course, in real life you probably wouldn't last very long here without a good spacesuit, some advanced tech, and maybe an unlimited snack supply. But hey, in this story, your lungs don't mind and your stomach stays quiet. Before we wander too far under this strange sky, I just want to say, if you find these journeys soothing, you can quietly tap that subscribe button so you never miss a bedtime escape. It's a simple way to help keep this channel glowing, and I'm grateful for every single person who chooses to join in. If you'd like, drop your location and the time where you are right now down in the comments. I love seeing where in the world everyone's drifting off from. Now, let's ease into the rhythm of this endless night. Maybe you dim the lights around you, set a fan to hum gently in the background, and sink a little deeper into your blanket. Together, we'll step slowly into the calm of this eternal sky. You take a breath and let the alien air fill your chest. It feels heavier than Earth's, tinged with minerals, but it steadies you rather than weighing you down. Beneath your feet, the soil is cool, carrying faint echoes of energy, as if the ground itself remembers the stars' stories. The horizon doesn't burn with sunrise, doesn't fade into sunset. It just sits there, quietly, in a timeless glow. The first thing you notice is the silence. Not silence like a library, but silence like the universe itself has stopped whispering. There is no chirp of birds, no cycle of insects waking and sleeping. Even your footsteps seem reluctant to echo, as if they too are adjusting to the eternal pause. And yet, in this stillness, there's something oddly reassuring. The sky isn't rushing you. Time isn't pushing you forward. You're simply allowed to exist, breathing slowly in a place that never changes. You tilt your head back, and the canopy above greets you like an old friend who never leaves. The stars are fixed in place, refusing to march across the heavens. On Earth, constellations drift, seasons shift, and you trace Orion's belt only to watch it vanish by morning. Here, Orion would stare at you every night, unblinking, like a watchful guardian frozen in time. It's oddly comforting, and also a little creepy, as though the cosmos is saying, I've got my eye on you. Astronomers call stars fixed, because their distances are so vast, their motions invisible over a human lifetime, but even they inch across the sky over centuries. Here, they don't budge at all. Scientists still wonder if a planet like this could really exist, tidally locked to its star, but not in the usual way. Its spin aligned perfectly so one face never changes. Some argue the physics are impossible, others say, given enough cosmic time, almost anything is. With no sunrise, you'd never need curtains. Imagine the savings in blackout blinds. Entire civilizations could skip the morning alarm industry. No more snooze buttons, just eternal starlight, telling you that, yes, it's still bedtime, and no, you're not late for work. You breathe slower as you notice how the light above feels different. Starlight here isn't faint or fragile. It has weight, like silver dust spilling across your shoulders. It outlines every ridge of stone, every grain of sand, every breath you release. The longer you stare, the more your eyes surrender, your pupils widening until the sky feels infinite. The air softens in your lungs, your heartbeat steadies. You trace the patterns above, not to mark hours or days, but to ground yourself. Without time moving, the stars become your anchor. You pick one, a bright, unblinking jewel, and decide, for tonight at least, it belongs to you. Somewhere deep inside, your brain protests. It craves the rhythm of night and day, the cycle of waking and sleeping. But here, the stars take responsibility for soothing you. They refuse to fade, promising, you can close your eyes whenever you want, and nothing will be lost. As you wander farther across this planet, you notice something odd. The shadows never move. That boulder to your left has cast the same stretched silhouette since you arrived, like a tattoo etched into the ground. The twisted tree nearby leans at a permanent angle, its dark outline fixed forever. On Earth, shadows dance, stretch, and shrink with the sun's journey. Here, they are statues, frozen in their poses, like actors stuck between lines of a forgotten play. You bend down, running your hand along the cool edge of one shadow. It feels no different from the ground, but your mind insists it should. Without motion, your instincts grow restless. Your body expects the clockwork of shifting light to mark your steps. But here, time hides behind the stillness. Scientists still debate how humans would cope on such a planet, where the sun never moves and the stars never blink. Some think our brains would adapt, inventing internal rhythms. Others wonder if sleep itself would unravel, drifting into chaos. Sundials here would be the most useless invention ever. Imagine a poor alien engineer proudly unveiling one to their friends, only to realize it points to the exact same spot every single day, the cosmic equivalent of buying a clock with no hands. You let out a small laugh, the sound swallowed quickly by the vast stillness. The air doesn't carry echoes well, as if the planet prefers quiet, but the laughter feels good, grounding. It reminds you that even in a world where shadows never change, you are still moving, still alive, still part of a story. The longer you stay, the more your senses adjust. Your mind begins to accept the frozen silhouettes as part of the landscape. The shadows are no longer eerie. They're reassuring. They will not trick you with sudden changes. They will not shift when your back is turned. They will always be there, exactly as you left them. And in that predictability, there is a kind of comfort. You breathe slower, your shoulders unclench, and you realize, in a universe full of movement, it's strangely soothing to find one place where nothing ever changes. Without sunrise or sunset to guide you, your body begins to wonder when it should be tired. Normally you'd yawn at twilight, stretch in the morning, feel alert as the day brightens. Here, the sky never hints. The planet offers no clues, no golden dawn, no fading dusk. You realize you'll have to invent your own rhythm, a private clock inside your chest. Your steps crunch softly on the ground as you think about how humans have always measured time. On Earth, sundials, hourglasses, even the steady tick of quartz watches, each tied to cycles of light, movement, or vibration. Here, none of that applies. You are adrift in a world where hours don't exist. Scientists still argue about how circadian rhythms, the natural body clock, would hold up without sunlight. Some experiments on Earth have shown people creating their own days, sometimes 25 hours long, sometimes longer. Left without cues, your body might simply decide sleep and wake at random. Imagine trying to schedule a pizza delivery here. 30 minutes or less means nothing if time doesn't move. The delivery guy would just shrug, drop your cosmic pizza at your door and tell you to check back in. Never. You smile at the silliness, then return to your breathing. Inhale, exhale. You decide to let your body, not your watch, choose the rhythm. Your eyelids feel heavier, your shoulders looser. The starlight doesn't dim, but your mind begins to soften anyway, crafting its own twilight. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. Even without a setting sun, you feel the day closing around you. It's not the sky that signals bedtime. It's you. You are the measure of rest. And that thought feels powerful. On this planet where time hides, you are the only moving clock. Your footsteps mark the hours, your heartbeat counts the minutes, and your dreams will be the stars' way of passing the night. You walk deeper into the twilight and lift your eyes once again. The constellations are sharper than you've ever seen them, etched like silver tattoos against black velvet. On Earth they slip past you, seasonal wanderers, always leaving and returning. But here, they never budge. The hunter's bow remains drawn, the bear forever poised, the swan frozen in flight. Each constellation feels alive, watching you like silent guardians marking your every step. Sailors once relied on these star patterns to navigate oceans, trusting them to guide ships safely home. On this planet, those sailors would never lose their way. The North Star would never shift, never waver. Yet scientists still wonder if being watched by unchanging constellations would soothe the human spirit or unravel it. Would the comfort of stability outweigh the unease of a sky that never blinks? Imagine teaching kids about seasonal constellations here. A teacher points up, explaining that some stars are summer only, some belong to winter. The kids just squint, shrug, and ask, "Are you sure?" Because that's the same sky we saw last Tuesday, and last year, and yesterday, and literally every day ever. Astronomy class would be the ultimate rerun. You laugh quietly, the sound swallowed by the endless night. It feels good to carry humour into a place so still. Humour is movement, and here, movement is rare. The ground crunches beneath your boots. You pause, tilting your face upward, letting the cold starlight rest against your skin. The light doesn't warm you, yet it comforts you, like cool water on a summer night. You pick out your favourite pattern, a cluster of stars shaped like an open hand, and you let it claim you. Breathing slows. Your mind softens. These immortal constellations become more than guides. They become your companions, eternal, loyal, steady. In their unchanging light, you realize something. Even if no one else ever walks this world, the stars will remember you. They will watch over your rest, exactly as they have since the moment you arrived. The stars may seem eternal, but your body still whispers its needs. As you settle under the unchanging sky, you feel the subtle reminders of hunger, the ache for warmth, the pull of fatigue. Survival here would not be as dreamy as your stroll suggests. A real human would need shelter, steady food, and protection from the unknown. The beauty of the sky can only carry you so far before your stomach pipes up, asking for something more practical than starlight. Stars release energy across millions of years, their light carrying information about their age, size, and chemistry. On Earth, telescopes decode those signals. Here, lying under a sky that never shifts, you imagine listening to those stories every night, as though the stars are whispering their secrets only to you. Scientists still debate whether life could adapt on such a planet, where the environment refuses to change. Some argue that evolution thrives on cycles. Others suggest that constancy might create its own strange kind of stability. Food delivery services here would have the most loyal customers, not because the people love the meals, but because nobody ever moves away. Same coordinates, same sky, same shadows. No wonder the delivery guy always finds your house. Eternal repeat customers under eternal stars. You breathe deeply and let the humour fade into comfort. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. You imagine the warmth of a blanket, the weight of a meal in your belly, and the steady rhythm of your pulse. Even in a place that could easily feel hostile, your body creates its own cocoon of safety. The stars overhead glow, patient and unblinking, as though they understand your needs too. They don't feed you or warm you, but they keep you company. Their constancy is a form of care, and in the quiet you realize that maybe survival here is not only about food and shelter, it's about listening to your own body, honoring its rhythm and finding peace in the small rituals that keep you human. You pause for a moment, pressing your boots firmly into the ground. The pull beneath you feels steady, familiar, a comforting tug that says you belong here. Gravity is the quiet friend you rarely thank. On Earth, it keeps oceans loyal to their shores and your coffee mug glued to the table. Here, under eternal twilight, it plays the same role, grounding you in a world where everything else refuses to change. Gravity is not constant across all worlds. On some planets it crushes with unbearable force, on others it barely clings, letting rocks and dust float like lazy balloons. Here, though, it feels just right. Not too heavy, not too light, almost like the planet itself has adjusted just for you. Scientists still debate whether life could adapt to unusual gravities. Would muscles waste away under gentleness? Would bones snap under strength? No one really knows. If the gravity here were any lighter, You could perfect your moonwalk dance without ever looking silly. Whole alien cities might host competitions, each resident bouncing gently, competing for best zero-gravity groove. Somewhere, Michael Jackson is smiling. You laugh softly and let your shoulders sink. The stars remain unmoving, but the ground holds you, anchoring your wandering mind. Every step you take presses into soil that will not shift. Every breath you draw reminds you that despite the strangeness of the sky, your body still trusts this gravity. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. You feel the calm weight of the planet pulling you downward, as though cradling you. In a universe full of drifting asteroids and wandering comets, this planet offers the gift of stillness. And in that moment, you realize something simple yet profound. You don't need a sunrise to feel secure. You don't need shifting shadows to remind you of time. Gravity itself, invisible and constant, gives you the rhythm you've been searching for, a quiet embrace that says, stay, rest, breathe. Eventually, the heaviness of your eyelids reminds you that it's time to rest. You lie back on the cool ground, and the eternal twilight wraps around you like a blanket. Sleep feels different here. On Earth, you surrender to the darkness, trusting the sun to return. But here, there is no switch, no guarantee, no cycle. The stars never dim, never flicker, never yield. You must close your eyes not because the sky changes, but because your body asks for it. Even in the brightest environments, humans can still sleep if their internal rhythms allow it. Submariners, astronauts, even scientists in polar research stations learn to rest without the guidance of the sun. Scientists still debate how long the human body could cope without natural cues before drifting into confusion. Yet, as you exhale here, you feel your body already building its own signal. Slow breath, loose muscles, heavier heartbeat. On this planet, sheep counting would be a never-ending game. With no sunrise to stop you, you'd reach numbers so high that math teachers would faint with pride. You counted how many before dozing off? 5,000? 7,000? Congratulations, you're now a certified mathematician in your sleep. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. You notice the way your chest rises like a tide, the way your hands grow still against the ground. Starlight still paints your eyelids, faint silver leaking in, but your body doesn't resist. It welcomes the glow, turning it into warmth, into peace. In this timeless world, dreams feel richer. You sense that when you drift, the constellations will wait, patient guardians until you return. No rush, no alarm, no sunrise, just you, floating between thought and rest, carried by the gentle hum of your own body. And in that space you discover something soothing. You don't need darkness to sleep. You only need trust. Trust in your body, trust in the rhythm you've built, and trust that the stars will keep watch while you let go. Loneliness creeps in quietly at first, without the rhythm of day and night, without the chatter of life. The silence here feels heavier. You glance around and realize it's just you, the ground, and an eternal sky that never answers back. For a moment, it unsettles you. On Earth, time itself keeps you company. Sunrise greets you, sunset bids you farewell. Here, the sky offers only stillness. But then you notice the small comforts you've built. You gather stones into a circle and spark a fire. Its glow flickers, finally something that moves in this frozen world. The flames dance in ways the stars never will, and the crackle breaks the silence. You lean close, letting the warmth kiss your skin. The fire reminds you that life still stirs, that not everything has surrendered to eternity. Humans are creatures of ritual, even in extreme isolation. Submarines, Antarctic research stations, space habitats, people create small, repeated actions to anchor themselves. Coffee at the same hour, stories before bed, a lucky charm tucked into a pocket. Scientists still debate whether these rituals are survival tools or simply comfort blankets. Perhaps they're both. Imagine explaining to aliens that humans soothe themselves by sipping hot bean water every morning. They'd tilt their heads and ask, "So you can't start your day without boiling seeds from a shrub?" You'd nod, proudly, holding your mug like the galaxy's most important relic. You return to your breath, steady and slow. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. You let your hand rest against your chest, feeling the rhythm inside. Your heartbeat becomes your company, a subtle drum reminding you that you are never truly alone. And as you sit under a sky that never moves, you realize something gentle. Loneliness only lingers until you notice the quiet friends around you, your fire, your breath, your heartbeat, the unblinking stars. Together, they weave a comfort loop that will hold you through the endless night. As the fire dwindles, your mind drifts into stories. You imagine what myths future settlers might weave under this frozen sky. Perhaps they would say the stars were gods who refused to turn their backs, guardians who vowed never to leave. Maybe they'd tell tales of a hero who once begged for a sunrise, only to learn that the eternal night was the planet's greatest gift. On Earth, every culture has looked upward, tracing meaning into constellations, hunters, lovers, warriors, animals, all immortalized in starlight. Here, those stories would never change. The hunter would always be chasing. The lovers would always hold hands. The swan would always be mid-flight. Scientists still wonder if humans need change in their myths to feel alive, or if the comfort of repetition might be enough. Campfire storytellers here would have the easiest job. No need to update the plot. And once again, my children, Orion raises his bow, just like yesterday and tomorrow and every day until forever. The kids would roll their eyes, but secretly they'd find peace in hearing the same tale, word for word, like a lullaby that never gets old. You lean back, letting the thought soften you. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. Your body loves ritual, and story is a ritual as old as language itself. The stars overhead provide the perfect backdrop, unchanging, eternal, reliable. And then, in a quiet moment, you wonder, maybe these myths aren't for the settlers at all. Maybe they're for the stars themselves. Perhaps the constellations long to be remembered, long to be woven into tales so they never feel forgotten. Maybe that's why they never move, because they want to be seen. The idea comforts you. You aren't just a wanderer under this sky. You're part of its story, part of the thread that ties humans to the cosmos. And as you rest in the glow of fading fire, you feel the weight of that connection, timeless, simple, and safe. At last, you let go. You stretch out on the cool ground, the eternal twilight wrapping you like a cocoon. The stars above hold steady, neither fading nor brightening. Their glow eternal. They do not rush you. They do not demand you wake at a certain hour. They simply remain, patient guardians waiting for your surrender. Your breath slows, the fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. Your body knows what to do, even without a sun to guide it. Muscles loosen, your heartbeat sinks into a calmer rhythm, and your mind drifts toward the threshold of dreams. On Earth, people often whisper that the stars are watching. Here, you feel that truth more intimately than ever. Their silver gaze is endless, and you belong within it. Ancient civilizations once believed stars were not distant suns, but windows into heaven. Some thought each star was a soul, shining forever in the sky. Scientists still argue whether myths hold any truth, or if they're just our way of comforting ourselves. But lying here, you sense it doesn't matter. Truth and comfort are not enemies. If stars are really watching, they must be very patient voyeurs, billions of years, waiting, staring, twinkling politely. You chuckle softly, then let the laugh dissolve into silence. The constellations do not move, yet you feel yourself slipping. It's not the sky that signals sleep, it's your own willingness to rest. You let your eyelids grow heavy, your breath deepen. You let go of the need for time, for clocks, for change. You trust the eternal sky to keep watch while you drift. And in this surrender, you discover peace. The stars never set, but you do. The journey quiets now. Your steps fade, the fire burns to embers, and the eternal sky holds its silence. You no longer need to explore, to wonder, to question. You have found your place beneath the unchanging stars, and they will not leave you. Breathe gently. In and out, slow and steady. Feel the way your chest rises then sinks again. The air cools against your skin, your muscles grow heavier, and your thoughts drift like soft dust across a forgotten path. Remember how the shadows never shifted, how the constellations never left, how gravity itself held you like a cradle. Those memories are still here, circling around you like comfort loops. The fire crackles, the air softens, and you breathe slower. Again and again, until the rhythm is all that remains. There is nothing left to do tonight. No sunrise to wait for, no clock to obey. Only this moment. Only the stars. Only the gentle truth that you are safe, grounded, and held. Let the constellations keep watch for you. Let the ground cradle you. Let your own heartbeat guide you into dreams. You don't need to hold on anymore. You don't need to stay awake. Close your eyes. Rest. The sky will be the same when you wake. The stars will still shine. The world will still hold you. You are safe. You are calm. You are home, even here.